Okay, so we're going through problems from day one, right? And then maybe some complex numbers for time. Yeah, so hopefully you spent the 4 hours trying to do the test as if it was like an exam, to give you some idea what it's like for the actual day one.
Your actual day one has such cool translation.
Yeah. So before we start, I guess I want to remind you again, our purpose is to get better at maths. Yeah?
Yes.
In the long term.
Always remind us that, or else we forget.
Yeah.
That's what we forget.
Yeah, it's like reminding people of the Aboriginal were the founders of the land, except that is a misconception between necessity and priority, right? So that might be a necessity, but putting it at the front made it a priority, and that's not true. Okay? So, but for us, the priority is to get better at math. And if you think about it, even in these tests, there's kind of two approaches you can take. You can compete, okay, or you can work as a team, okay, to proceed a common purpose. If you compete, you might be able to sort of increase your rank relative to the 6 people here, right? but if you work as a team and cooperate, you'll increase your rank relative to the 100 people that are doing the AMO, probably by much more of a margin than the few ranks you can scrape through here, right? And obviously, like if there is someone who's much better than you and you want to compete with them, then that could also help you improve. But yeah. Okay, so let's start with question 1, okay? What was question 1? Remember?
Question 1, so
yeah, it was like AM is differing by the GM by 1 or something, right? AM, GM. Equals 1, yeah? Okay, so there's lots of approaches to this. So one of them was to get a perfect square and keep going. One of them was to put this by itself and then square it. Lots of ways work, okay? So I want to emphasize maybe a way that might be kind of quicker, or just the nature of question 1 and a way to write out the solution. I'm not going to be like, oh, try ideas and stuff. I want to tell you how to solve the problem, okay? So
question 1 isn't really about like ideas.
Yeah. So I feel like the meta with question 1, right, is you can't just be like, oh, that's so easy, I'm done, right? That's like a way to guarantee yourself probably 5 or 6 marks. Okay, to get the 7th mark, you really got to be aware that there's there's a mistake that many people make that's possible to be made. Okay, so like when you take the square root, it has to be plus or minus. Like these kind of things, yeah?
School math mistakes.
Yeah. And they all have to be at least 1 mark deduction, yeah? And you can see, like, you get an honorable mention if you get a 7 out of 7 for a question, okay? So all the people didn't get honorable mentions, and they were invited to the AMO, right? They could all do question 1, right? But none of them got 7, okay? So for this question, one really important step. So the solutions were basically of the form. So but then you also had to remember to write the other one, right? No matter, even if you would log it, right, you still have to state the solution at the end. So for any...
Oh, it's interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
Okay, so you have to actually check that these are solutions. Okay? I mean, this is a logical step. In school, they didn't even realize you have to do that. It's kind of weird. I went to a head teacher once and I was like, logically you have to actually check the solutions to prove that they're the solutions.
Michael, if each of the steps are if and only if, then you don't have to check the solution.
Yeah, but you have to explain that they're if and only if, yeah? That the check is the going backwards, right? It's the if.
It's the if.
Yeah.
The forward is only if.
Yeah. And then they're like, isn't that just some uni maths? And I'm like, what?
What?
Anyway, so check these.
That's probably why they added like logic to
in the equation. Do I actually have to show you how to check these?
No, probably not.
Okay, good.
Wait, but what if like you accidentally get it right? So it's not actually as if you were proving it by if and only if. It's just that you like accidentally.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that if you don't check it, you still get a 7. I'm not saying that you'll always get taken a mark, because it depends on the marker. If they are the teacher that doesn't know this, then they'll give you a 7, right?
And also, if all of your steps are if and only if, then it's still correct.
Yeah. And then I might want to show you some other way. It's funny, whenever I find this way, it's always similar to Ivan's way. I don't know why. Okay, so this guy. So I guess one thing you could do, one way to show the other way, yeah, that most people might not have tried. So this is actually hard for a question 1, I thought, yeah, because it actually had a lot of different ways to go wrong, and there were actually infinitely many solutions, yeah. Okay, oh wait, one way to show the only, maybe you could have like so you can think about common divisors of A and B, right? Okay, so first of all, root AB equals A plus B on 2 minus 1, yeah? Which is clearly rational, yeah?
Yeah.
And so therefore it must also be an integer, yeah? Okay. Because they're integers, A and B.
Yeah.
So if it's rational, it has to be an integer, okay?
Wait, could it be like? What if it's like?
What if it's like half? Yeah.
I don't think a square root of an integer can be.
Oh,
no.
The square root of some integer can either be irrational or an integer.
But see, can you see like that's sort of telling you that the gap is slightly too big between steps, yeah? People are starting to question
I didn't
the claim. So I guess I'm trying to make this proof with the most awkwardly, like the largest possible gap. So it's gonna be borderline awkward, okay?
Well, this is I think this was the one.
So this is an integer. If you look at the common divisors, let's just say like D equals the GCD of AB, right? See that the way if A and B are not squares, the only way to be not squares are the primes that are in the common divisor, right? But if you look at the GCD, it divides. So D divides root AB, right?
Okay.
D divides A plus B, yeah?
Yeah.
So then D divides 2.
So you just get like a huge stack.
See, because 2 equals that, right?
Oh.
D divides that, so D divides 2, right? So D equals 2 or 1. Okay, and then you just have to try 2 cases, right? So the 2 cases are A is the square, which doesn't work, or 2 times the square, 2 times the square. Yeah? So this is... Okay, and then this is 2k squared 2l squared. Yeah? Okay.
Just put it in.
Solve it in.
Yeah, and then sub it in, and you'll see k and l have to be like this. Yeah? Okay. I think this step is in most solutions anyway. Because you get it that it's a square.
Yeah.
And then you see that it's one.
Substitution.
Okay, what else? Some comments about question 1.
I can't think here. Too messy.
What else do I want to say about question 1? Do you have any questions? Oh yes, now I know what I want to say about question 1. Okay, so question 1, I mean, it looks funny. Like question 1 looks to be kind of like no one thinks about what happens for question 1, right? Beyond this point, but like there's lots of like interesting issues associated with an exam. Okay? So for example, if your goal is to do all 4 questions, then your time limit for question 1 is like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Not for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't even want to attempt the fourth question, right? You have probably like an hour to do question one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So like what your standards are for question one actually does affect how well you'll go in the exam. So like losing that 1 mark is really hard to get in question four. So losing that 1 mark here is such a pity. Okay.
In some cases, they
I
might
lost
get
2 marks.
But the thing is, everyone lost that 1 mark. Okay. No one got that 1 mark here.
I think
Wait,
No one got a 7th question one.
Wait, no one. 0 people, you mean?
No one.
Yeah.
No one in this group.
Oh, I mean, I thought no one in the last, because I did this like last time.
Okay.
I probably didn't
I
get
get it
that
now.
time.
Yeah, but there's 8 questions, so if you ditch a mark in every one, it's like losing a question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I think realistically you could do this question in like 10 minutes. Yeah?
Yeah, realistically.
Yeah?
Even if you did.
And you'll probably I mean in the actual exam though, you'll have to have like maybe like 20 or 30-minute margin of error, but like the point is if you want to have enough time to do question 4, yeah, like reliably, like have like a it's not like just a chance to do it, but like have like a good chance to do it, Like you're maximizing it by and so it's not just like, oh, get it done, you're done, right? Don't do that. Like get it done, I'll be aware of the issue of getting that 1 extra mark, Think about how you might have lost it. And then write something sort of easily checked, right? You don't want people kind of thinking about your paper for ages. Okay. Yeah, that was a question.